We're here this afternoon with Della Rodriguez, who is an upcoming new divorcee, and and in that process, she's found herself having to re-enter the workforce. So Della is dealing with issues of low self-esteem, inadequacy, and some mild depression. So we're going to address these issues with Della. So Della, explain to me how you feel about entering the workforce.
Well, it's going to be different because I'm going to be providing for myself again, and I haven't worked since my youngest child, who's 13, was before he was born. So I'm just nervous about if I'm going to make the same income to support my kids, my boys, to see to give them the needs that they not only the things they need, but the stuff they want.
Mm-hmm.
Because coming from my husband, who he took care of us really good. So I'm just wondering, I'm just confused about if it's gonna phase them more than me. Because it's, first of all, I'm really stressed thinking I have to find a job, because who wants to hire a housewife? You know?
Okay.
And my only experience is before that was I was working at Nordstrom's as a clerk, so that's not really much.
Okay. I noticed here that you have some experience in clerical. Tell me about that job.
Well, it's just a little bit. It's because I was a secretary for my husband's firm, and it was really light. It wasn't really a everyday thing. It was more once a week. If the secretary was on vacation, he didn't find anyone to fill, and just taking care of small things of the house, in his office.
Okay. And your inadequacy, is it due to your lack of skills, or is it just start going back to work itself?
I think it's going back to work to itself, because when you don't work, your confidence level is low, and I feel like I don't have what it takes, because it's 13 years ago since I did have a job in the workforce, and I'm not going to be behind my husband's company anymore. It's me. I have to present myself, and it's just because I'm just and there's younger kids and everything, and I'm not sure if I'm actually gonna fit in, or actually they're gonna accept me, being older.
Okay. Have you had a chance to um, to evaluate what skills you do have now? I mean, you can use organizational skills as a homemaker.
I don't like to, because it triggers my depression when I start thinking of what I can be, because I have a history of depression.
Okay.
So I just think about oh, it just makes me more depressed.
Okay.
Thinking when I sit down and try to think about what I can bring to the table, to the workforce, it just puts me in a mood, because I just keep thinking it was so long ago, and everything's high tech now, and the last thing I remember was the black and orange computer screens, and now everything's touch. I know how to use my touch phone on my phone. I use how the touch to get out my refrigerator and everything, but actual computers just
I understand.
yeah.
Okay. What if I refer you out to a person that I know who can help you put all your skills into perspective and on a resume to get you into that kind of workshop, even for about 5 meetings? Would you like that? Is that helpful to you?
I would appreciate that.
Okay. Okay. Then we'll look into the resource of seeking some computer classes. Okay. Now, what about as far as your depression? Are you taking medication?
Yes.
Yes. Okay. Good. And how's it working for you?
I don't know, because I'm not sure if it's working, but I don't know if it's just extra because of everything I'm going through, and just thinking about my kids and everything. So I can't say it's not working, but it's just just everything that's going on. It's complicated.
So some things trigger it more so than others don't. Okay. Okay, so so you're on medication, and we're going to resource you out there. Now, have you thought about going to a support group for people with not so much depression, but going through a transition in life?
I don't believe in sharing my problems openly with a lot of people, because it's just my own personal preference. I'd rather if I'm going to talk to somebody, I'd rather just keep it small down to one person.
Okay, I understand that. Okay, so we'll just keep between the two of us then.
Thank you.
Okay, you just share with me. Okay, but in the process, then I'm going to ask you, if we're going to keep it between the two of us, is that you keep a journal, just about your feelings. Today I felt sad because this, or I'm happy today because this, because I want to see how your moods are.
Keep it throughout the day, or just once a day?
Just keep a little note, today, yeah, daily, yeah. We'll do that for 2 weeks. to see how how you're dealing with your moods and how you're able to cope, and then begin healing. Okay. Okay, so we'll do that. So let's talk about your social status. Um, Now you say that your husband's a company.
Yes, as a law
Okay,
firm.
so is he? What would you say your social class is?
I would say my husband, he's created a life for us that I think most people would work really, really hard for.
Really hard. Okay, so would you consider yourself upper class?
Humbly, I consider myself upper class.
Okay, all right. Okay, and you feel that with the divorce, you want to have able to live up to the expectation, right?
Oh my gosh, don't get me started on that. I'm just like, that just stresses me out so much because I just think about not everything that I want or just the things that are normal to me in my everyday life and in my son's everyday life. And when like my kids stay with me, it's like they're not gonna have anything, and that just stresses me out because I'm not gonna be able to provide for them the way my husband does.
Okay, so I hear that you're stressed over not being able to provide for your children the way you have with your husband. Okay. Now, I assume you sought an attorney,
My
right?
husband is insured. Yes, I have.
Okay, good. Okay. So in the process, you've discussed alimony and child support, correct?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Now, okay. So do you think that that's not enough to support or sustain you in your lifestyle?
For my children's, yes, but
Okay.
for me, no,
No.
because I don't think because if it's child support, I'm pretty sure it goes to them, right? I support them.
Well, they also give you alimony to support yourself.
Okay.
Yeah, your husband will support not only your children but also you and your lifestyle.
Oh, okay.
Okay, and you may have to make some sacrifices and some changes, which is good because you learn some good self-esteem, coping skills. You learn how to do for yourself independently without having to rely on someone else to provide it for you, which is good for for your morale. It's a good thing to learn.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, because we want to hear what we want to do is get you to be self-reliant, independent, and back on an emotional stability, so you will not feel depressed and have that low self-esteem. Okay, and working it builds one's self-esteem. Okay, have you looked for work yet?
I haven't started my work for my.
Looking. Okay, okay. Do you so let's make that a second goal. Okay, the first goal would be to keep a journal, and the second goal would be to look for employment. Okay. Now, did you say you wanted to seek my friend with?
Yes.
Okay. So so that'll be your second goal. I will refer you to him,
Mm-hmm.
and he'll be expecting your phone call. So we'll work on that. Okay. And then we'll work on getting you your skills and what you need to do to get back on track with that. Okay. So how does that sound with you?
That sounds good.
Okay. And continue taking your medication because it's very important.
Okay.
Okay.